Good morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is March 6th, 2018, and I hope everyone is having a very good start to your week. So what did you guys think of the new intro? Please let me know what you think. If you like this intro, make a comment, put a thumbs up, let me know what you guys think on that. Worked on it for a while, and I think that's the one that I like the best, but you guys let me know what you think, okay? I have a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about today. It's been about a week since I've actually posted anything that I left up. Now, I did post something last Friday, and what I posted, I ended up taking back down because I had made an error in a date that I did not want to leave up. And as a result of that error, it made me start thinking about several other things that I actually want to mention in this video. So this isn't really going to be an educational video as much as it is going to be a video of me just talking to you about some things that I am starting to feel really need to be expressed and need to go out there in the YouTube community for people to actually think about. I also have had a couple of emails of people who have asked me questions that I feel like really need to be addressed. We are at a point in time that people are really starting to take a look at everything that I have posted and other channels that are like mine have posted, and then take a look at the channels that are posting things that are making statements that are opposite of what our channels try to inform you of. Those channels would be channels that are selling like the TDA A4V packages. They're charging 3, 4, 500, some as high as $1,200 for packages to get you out of all kinds of trouble, supposedly, either to get you connected with your TDA account or to help you get out of mortgage foreclosure or to help you, get a new car. I mean, there's just tons and tons of channels out there that we have warned you about. My channel, several other channels that have tried to warn people about, that are taking advantage of the YouTube community, taking advantage of the public, and making you feel as though you can't trust what you have been brought up to believe, or what people have told you with regards to finances, that there's these hidden accounts and these hidden agendas with regards to bonds, to your birth certificate, and all these different things. And because these individuals that I'm talking about are sitting on the fence now, they're going, okay, at one point we believed that all these different things that these so-called gurus and packages that they're selling were true. But now we're seeing people more and more come back and go, no, it's BS. My bank account was hacked. My tax return was stolen. We've even had people come on to my comments and several other channels' comments and say, don't get anything from this person or that person because they are scamming people, they're stealing from people, so on and so forth. And so as a result of that, I'm getting a lot of influx of questions with regards to why is law enforcement not doing anything to these people? Why is it that people are allowed to sit and sell packages that are bogus and not get in trouble for it? So, because I had gotten such a massive amount of questions with regards to this, I contacted my state's attorney general's office and I asked the question as to why is it that an individual that's doing something such as these channels that are selling packages, the Druana Johnstons out there, the April Lejunes, the Money Boy Films, All of these people, why are these people getting away with doing this when clearly it isn't working out for people? And there are many people that have come out and said it's not working. All it's doing is costing me a bunch of fees, and which is what we tried to warn. But why is it that these people are being allowed to continue to do this without law enforcement stepping in? And it's actually quite simple, although I know it's baffling. What was explained to me by the Assistant Attorney General was this. It's because within their terms and conditions, they place in there that they're not responsible for the outcome of what happens. So, what they are charging for is to fill out the forms. And in some cases, they're not even filling out the forms. In some cases, they're getting free forms from places like the IRS and the Federal Reserve and, GSA and these different places, and they're selling the package full of free forms. Now, the simple fact is this: it is not illegal to lie as long as it doesn't cost you for something that you were told was a guarantee. So it's all within the language. And what you will find if you go to these channels' websites, when you go to purchase these packages, you're going to find something in the terms and conditions. And those terms and conditions are going to suggest something like this. We're not, you're paying us for the consultations. You're paying us for filling out the forms. You're paying us to do a seminar. You're paying us for the knowledge of. But your particular results are not guaranteed. We are not responsible for whether or not you ever get to your TDA account. We're not responsible for whether or not your promissory note works. We're not responsible for whether or not you are successful in any way, shape, or form. What you are paying us for is to get you the forms, fill the forms out, or maybe even file the forms, which not very many that I've been able to find are doing that, because the filing fees can be extravagant. To have your birth certificate authenticated, for example, in some places is like $50, and some of these gurus are requesting that you do it twice. I mean, there are many fees, many filings. They all require some form of a fee. So that can be several $100s in itself. And that's not something they generally include in the packages. But what they do is they either fill them out for you and give you a set of so-called instructions and have you go ahead and carry on from there. And in their terms and conditions, they'll put something to the effect of the results don't have anything to do with me because you're doing the filing yourself. This way, it's very easy for when you come back and say, hey, this didn't work, which is what's happening with many people already. The party that sold you the package can say, well, you just didn't do it right. You just didn't do it right. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Well, I'd like my money back. No, you cannot have your money back because I already did the work that I promised, which was to fill out the paperwork. The simple fact is, and this is what the Attorney General's office explained to me, the simple fact is that if you really want to have something done, you need to, number one, have it shown to you that it works, first of all. And secondly, you need to ensure that the party who is doing the work for you is educated in that manner. In other words, somebody that would be filing paperwork or filling out paperwork of a legal matter like this would generally be somebody who is well versed in the UCC or the Uniform Commercial Code within the state that you're in and would generally have a law degree. Okay. If you are relying on somebody on a YouTube channel or on a website to do this sight unseen, and you don't read completely the terms and conditions, that is not the Attorney General's fault. Now, if they don't have terms and conditions that say that they are, not guaranteeing the results, and you've got videos showing that they're guaranteeing the results, but you are not, are not seeing any kind of a terms and condition that you automatically agree to when you pay, or you automatically agree to when you when you sign up with their service, now that's a completely different story. The other scenario here is that in the event that it gets too large and there are too many complaints, it no longer matters whether terms and conditions apply. But in the case of the Attorney General's office in my state, that takes 100 or so people to make a complaint against one party and say, hey, yeah, their terms and conditions say that the results vary, but regardless of that, this person is selling these packages to multitudes of people, and these people are not getting results. We're all getting together and realizing that this was a scam. In that case, if enough people file complaints with the Attorney General's office that that party is in, the Attorney General will then begin to pick up and run with it and start investigating that person. But it takes more than one or two people to complain. Now, the interesting thing about some states with regards to these packages that I want to make sure everybody's aware of is that some states have what's called a victims fund, which means that if you've been taken for a large sum of money, or even, just a few $100s by someone that has run a scam, and there have been several hundred people that have complained, and the Attorney General's office says, you know what, somebody needs to check on this. This is not looking good. And the Attorney General puts together a task force, investigates the person, finds out it's a scam, ends up getting a hold of the person and stopping that person from doing what they're doing. There are times and situations where people can file for that victim's fund, meaning that you'll get a portion of the funds that you put into it back. That is not in every state. Not every Attorney General's office offers a victims fund, but some do. So what I would ask for you to do, if you are in a situation like many of the people that are contacting me, and they're saying, hey, I have purchased this, I paid $800 for it, and I've seen no results. I've waited for 4 months, I'm not seeing anything. I've gotten the packages back, but everything that I've done is not bringing results. I think I was scammed. You need to look up where that party is from originally, where their office is located. If they don't have an office, where the person who is presenting it to you is from. You need to find the Attorney General's Consumer Fraud Division, and then you need to place a complaint with them. Now, it doesn't mean that anything is going to actually happen to that person, but what you will do is you will start an actual buildup of complaints, because the more people that actually, fill out the paperwork, it only takes about 5 minutes to do, from what I understand and what I've been told. Most of the time you can do it online in almost every single state. From what I understand, once it hits a certain level, and every Attorney General's office is a little bit different, but when it comes to consumer fraud, they have an obligation to start checking once it gets to a certain point. So I believe that in certain states like California, for example, it's like a total of 50 consumer complaints. Or in some states, for example, in Arizona, it's once it hits $10,000. Once you start getting to a point, whatever their threshold is, of what your losses have been and how many customers are now complaining, they will start keeping their eyes open. And the more that come in, the more that they will begin to put together a task force to investigate. That is when that supersedes the terms and conditions. But to answer the question, the majority of questions I'm getting from people, the reason why these people have been allowed to continue to sell these redemption packages, it's not because they work. It's because people are failing after they find out they don't work to actually take any action against the party. And the reason why is because generally what you've paid out is usually less than actually having to take that person to court in their own state. So if you have hired somebody, say from the state of California, and you've asked them to do the paperwork for you and you've paid them $500, and then you find out it doesn't work and they refuse to give you your money back, you find out that the majority of the time, unless you have a class action scenario going on, you're going to have to file a small claims case, and you're going to have to do it where they are located. That means flying to California. That means making sure that you are at court when the court date is. That means paying all the upfront fees until your case is proven. And then at the last minute, if you speak to somebody that is an attorney, they're going to say, hey, guess what? Terms and conditions, what did it say? I know it doesn't seem right. I know it doesn't seem fair, but this is how they're getting around it. And so what it's going to take is for people to either read the terms and conditions and sit down and say, no, I'm not going to give you $800 or $900 or whatever the amount is of my hard-earned money when you're not guaranteeing me any kind of results whatsoever and you can't prove any of your own. Okay? Either saying no then, or when you do get burned, saying no. Now we're going to fight back. We're going to get you taken off here so that you can't do this anymore to any more people, and report it. Report it to your Attorney General Consumer Fraud Division. Put together a little channel where people can go to that can say, hey, I bought a package from over here, I bought a package from over there, and they it didn't work out for me, they lied to me, or their terms and conditions said this, but yet and still look at thousands of people purchased them. So therefore, should they really get away with being able to keep all that money? I mean, you can put together a channel and you can band together in that manner and take that to the Attorney General's office, or take it to an attorney and do a class action lawsuit. There are several different things you can do to protect yourself, but the main thing is looking at the terms and conditions to begin with. You're going to find that either you have terms and conditions that you have to agree to when you actually sign up for the package, or there are terms and conditions that you have to agree to when you get the package and they have to be signed and sent back to them, or you are entered into this agreement with them in some manner. And if those are not there, in the absence of those, then you'll have a case. But the majority of the time, these people have their stuff together. They really do know exactly what the real law is, and they do know that in order to protect themselves, they have to claim that what you are really paying them for is putting their package together or filling their package out, but it isn't guaranteeing your results. Okay, so getting that out of the way. One more thing that I want to talk to you guys about that seems to be a really disturbing trend right now. And I really want you guys to think about this. I'm not going to say a lot about it, but I want you to seriously consider what it is that I'm saying. We have a couple of really dangerous words that are running around out there right now. And those two words mean so much to so many people. Those two words are wake up. Now, the reason why these words mean so much to so many people is because it's almost an insult in a way. If you stop and think about it, and somebody is telling you to wake up, it's an insult in this manner, like you have been asleep all this time. Wake up, like dummy. Okay? And it's meant to sound that way. It's meant to sound that way. It's meant to sound insulting. The reason that it's meant to sound insulting is because there's an agenda behind it. Now, I'll be the first person to agree that it's important to be awake to certain things. It's important to be awake to things that we weren't awake to before, such as, yes, there are false flags that are going off around us that we don't really understand the reason why we're being lied to about certain things. There are scenarios, like, for example, when the gentleman was on, I believe it was Fox News, it was one of the news channels, they came off and actually made a comment like this, that it's illegal to read WikiLeaks unless you're a news channel. Ridiculous, right? Okay. Yeah. We need to be awake to those things. We need to be able to see that we're not always getting the truth. We're not always hearing what it is that is true. But we're also not always hearing that everything that we're hearing is false. And that is what this wake up term has brought me to understand why it can be so dangerous. It seems now that anytime that anyone wants to prove a point, they preface that point with wake up. So you have these gurus that are out there telling you about these secret accounts that aren't there, guys. Okay? They're not. You have Social Security accounts. You have a possibility of having a disability account through your Social Security. You have, once you're fully vested, you have your retirement through Social Security, but you don't have a birth certificate bond. They claimed that you could access these funds by using the red number on the back of your Social Security card, okay, and a Federal Reserve routing number, extremely dangerous to do. Inviting you to commit bank fraud, and and at the same time telling you to wake up, wake up, wake up and commit fraud. Wake up. You've been asleep all this time. Wake up. So that's taking you from one supposedly asleep reality into another asleep reality. Do you realize that? For those of you that have already been through this and already know that the TDA accounts are false, already know that these people that are selling packages are full of crap. For those of you that have already been through this, that have already been defrauded in one manner or another through this lie, okay? You know what I'm talking about here because you've all heard it. Wake up. What did you wake up to? You woke up to what? You woke up to non-sufficient funds, fees. You woke up to your car being repossessed. You woke up to losing your house. Did you wake up to having so many fees on your loan, or maybe even losing the capability of being able to pay through the ACH process because you went on limited participation because you couldn't be trusted to use a real routing number anymore? I mean, is this what you were supposed to wake up from? I really want you to stop and think about the channels that keep saying to you to wake up. And how they keep talking about all of us that are telling you anything that seems somewhat logical, we're all shills, supposedly. We're all CIA agents or ops or whatever it is that they want to call us this week. And we're supposedly the ones that are throwing out all of this fear porn, right? That's their word, fear porn. But I want you to think about this for a second. While they are calling us CIA agents that are smearing fear porn everywhere, what are they telling you? They're telling you about a government that's going to throw you in FEMA camps because you believe in God. They're telling you about secret accounts the government has such disdain against you that they put these all together so that they could just make money off of your environment and work, and that you should be so angry with them that you should put yourself and your family in jeopardy, both financially and physically, in order to try bank fraud out. They're telling you not to listen to anyone who is trying to protect you from possibly getting yourself in actual physical trouble or financial trouble, there, because of the fact that those channels, the channels that are trying to show you what people are have happened to them and trying to explain to you how things really work, they're telling you that we are the ones to be scared of, that we're trying to keep you asleep. But yet, we're not the ones who've lied to you. We've proven everything that we've come out and told you, except for the one thing that can't be proven, because you can't prove something that doesn't exist. But we've proven to you all of the different laws that have been inaccurately stated. We've proven to you things like the U.S. never filed a bankruptcy. Now, it never happened. So, since it never happened, I can't prove to you that it never happened other than to show you there's no case of a U.S. bankruptcy. None. I don't care what anybody else wants to make of it. I don't care how many links people send to me. Until you can show me a newspaper article that shows me that the U.S. went bankrupt, or you can show me an actual court case that the U.S. actually went bankrupt, then save your words, because nothing that someone says in a blog proves that the U.S. ever went bankrupt. Where is the newspaper article? Wouldn't that be the biggest news in the nation? Where is the actual court case? Where is it? Listen, guys, it's not logical for you to sit back and think that the very people that are actually giving out the fear porn and the ones that are actually telling you to commit bank fraud, and the ones that are actually selling you packages to tell you that you're going to be able to get into accounts that no one has gotten into yet. They've been selling these packages for years, but nobody's gotten into them. Those are the people that are telling you, no, these people are terrible. Don't listen to them. They're not telling you the truth about anything. It doesn't matter how much they cite. And in some cases, even telling you that, virgotriad doesn't back up any of her information with anything. You go back and look at every single one of my videos. Every one of my videos is backed up with a link of a resource that is a good, solid resource, not somebody's blog, straight out of Cornell Law, straight off the FBI site, straight out of one of the Federal Reserve sections of governance. Okay, these are good resources. These are not resources like, Joanne's blog of sovereign citizens. We're talking about just really rationalizing this out and thinking about those channels that actually say to you, unless you think like this, unless you believe like I do, you're asleep. You're a sheep. You are not worthy of being on my pasture. Stay on your own pasture. Stay asleep. Take the blue pill, whatever you want to call it. Wake up. Well, I have one thing to say to those individuals. Guess what, guys? All of you selling packages that are bogus, all of you that are promoting these lies, all of you that are on a platform of YouTube or on a platform on the web right now, that are promoting lies and deceit, your days are numbered, because people are starting to wake up and they're starting to see this stuff's not working. More and more people are coming out and saying, I don't understand. Why is it that none of the paperwork I've gotten is working? Or even worse, why haven't I gotten my paperwork yet? You keep coming up with, first it was the TDA accounts. Now it's GSA bonds. I mean, you've got one thing after another and you misconstrue the legalese to make it work to your benefit. But guess what? You don't get to take a bail bond. You don't get to take a prison bond and turn it into something that it's not. You don't get to take Social Security benefits and turn it in to a bond that was at birth in order for people to trade you on the market. Those days are ending, because those of us that are seeing how you are treating the public, how you are taking advantage of people that are gullible or don't have the time to do as much research, we're making sure that they're aware. And I am personally giving any of you a platform to speak upon, and someone who will be there to stand next to you to try to help you when you find out that you've been burned, even if you didn't like my channel and the things my channel stood for to begin with. I want to make sure that everyone knows that the door to this channel will remain open for those people, because no matter whose governance you're under right now, and I say it like that because that's exactly what it is. These gurus are leading you by the nose. And it's only a matter of time before you find out that these things don't work. You're going to be blamed for it. You're going to be told you didn't do it right. It's already starting to come out of their mouths. Oh, you didn't file it right. You didn't listen to my instructions. You pulled things apart and put them all together, and then you didn't know what you were doing. And we don't have time to call, or worse. It's so confusing that you do need to call, and then you get charged more for consultation time. But sooner or later, I don't care if it's a month from now or 12 years from now, you're going to find out that you've been lied to. And when that happens, and it will happen, you can come to this channel and we will try to help you, because I want to make sure that the people who have pushed these things, the people who are hacking into bank accounts and stealing, the people who are stealing tax returns, and the people who are just flat out stealing, I want every last one of them to get exactly what it is that they deserve. All right, so that's my time for today. I'm sorry that it's been a little bit since I've uploaded a video, but I've been thinking about everything that's going on. I've been watching what's going on the sidelines. And I just feel like it's really important that that announcement got out there before anything else. I've been doing this battle now we're going on 7 months. And there's so much information on my channel at this point that you guys can get to if you really want to know. But if you're one of those type of people that really needs to let this wear out until you absolutely know for sure that you've been had, that you've been taken advantage of, then that's okay too, because we'll be here. We will be here when the guru that you followed is long gone with your money. We will still be here. Okay, you guys, I hope you guys have a really good day, and I'll talk to y'all again soon. Let me know what you thought of the intro, okay? Bye-bye.